Well, let's move on to let's finish off with some good stuff, some fun stuff. Let's do this first. This was actually an interesting, this is really not good or fun, but kind of interesting. This was a study that they did. People were bringing this up as proof that there's always this debate in video games where people are talking about frame rate, which frame rate is the best. Well, they did a study showing that, a lot of people see different frame rates, and they're coming up with a testing modality to look at it. And you can kind of see some of these graphs. What I thought interesting, and I think kind of shows that some of the survey data might be wrong, because it's totally based on whether or not people report it, is that women scored higher in seeing better in seeing frame rate than men, which makes like zero sense to me, because men have, by all accounts, done better than women at video games. And the idea that they can see and respond faster, or can see, frame rate better, doesn't make sense. But of course, you see some of these plot points. The pink are obviously female, where like some people are just way, way out there. And I have to wonder whether or not some of these people are lying about it. Some of these modalities. So this kind of made me like throw into question just how good this can be. But you see different plots, obviously the higher or further it gets, this is when these people could start detecting a difference in the lights. Essentially, when they sort of like, at least in one of the tests, they had like a flashing light, and they had to record when, at which point the light became solid to them, when they couldn't detect the flashing anymore. And that's when they plotted it out. So some people could even see like at 80 hertz or something like that. Again, an interesting study, but I have to wonder just how accurate it was. Because in my assumption would be that if you tested, most of the contestants, majority of it were female, that if you were to do a massive study on this, that I think men would come out on top. I could be wrong, but I just have a feeling with how good they do at just sort of hand-eye coordination and reaction time, it seems to be much better than women on average. So I would expect them to come in higher on this test if it was done.